One of the key unique features of our Palette platform is the ability to import existing clusters from any location, and even from other Kubernetes management platforms. This way, users can get the same benefits of consistent management and full stack lifecycle operations not only with new clusters to deploy with our platform, but also across their existing container environments. Whether you are using Amazon EKS, Azure AKS, or Google GKE, or on-premise VMware PKS or Red Hat OpenShift, you can benefit from a single control point for centralized visibility, cost optimization, and enterprise-grade governance across every Kubernetes cluster. Let's take a look at how easy it is to import an existing cluster to Palette. Select Import, type in the cluster name, GKE1 tooling, and then select Google as the cluster cloud type. Next, we'll copy the kubectl command, which will add a lightweight Palette agent used for reporting health and managing the cluster. Switch over to our terminal. Once we're targeting the correct cluster, we can run the copied kubectl command to install the Palette agent. Wait a few seconds and make sure all the pod agents are showing initializing. Switch back to the Palette console and notice how the cluster is now in an importing state. Once the agent is fully installed, the cluster status transitions to running. Part of the telemetry reported back by the agent includes health metrics and logs. The health of a cluster is based on a regular heartbeat received by the agents and also absence of any node conditions such as memory pressure, disk pressures, and others. CPU and memory requests as well as utilization are also reported for the past hour, day, etc. The Nodes tab shows all discovered nodes running on the cluster. For example, the GKE1 tooling cluster has 2 node pools, a GPU node pool with 2 instances, and a generic compute pool with 3 instances. Individual node metrics are viewable under the View Metrics toggle. In addition to granular CPU and metric utilizations, node conditions are also reported. Additional application services can also be installed using add-on profiles. Add-on cluster profiles allow cluster operators to model the applications, toolings, and configurations, essentially the best practices for your enterprise, into a reusable template or blueprint, and then consistently deploy and manage these stacks for both managed and imported Kubernetes clusters. In this example, we're looking at the base add-on profile, which contains common components like Nginx Ingress, Prometheus monitoring, and DEX for authentication. Other integrations can also be added by a number of different layers such as logging, security, service mesh, and more, or bring in any Helm chart from your popular registry or your own registry. Applications and configurations can also be imported from running clusters, enabling easy migration between clusters and even between clusters running across different clouds or environment. Let's switch back to the GKE1 tooling cluster and add the base add-on profile, leaving the default configuration for these components. Similarly, we can also attach other profiles such as the Kubeless serverless framework and the popular AI/ML Kubeflow platform. With Palette, you can easily import any of your existing clusters and benefit from consistent management across infrastructure and application services, significantly reducing the time and knowledge required for your Kubernetes operations.